The NBA is starting tonight, assuming that's when the day you're listening. We've got two games. This is fantastic. We got two games here, and I forgot who play. I know the Suns play the Warriors, and the
Yep.
Lakers play Denver.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
on Tuesday night, and TNT put out a graphic of NBA starts, and it was Steph Curry, who plays,
Mm-hmm.
LeBron, who plays, um, KD plays, and then Jason Tatum was in the graphic, and so they say the NBA starts. Here's three of the four teams, and instead of Jokic for the
The
obvious fourth in the graphic,
MVP.
they put in Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics, and I have to think that you, like me, Evan Heffelfinger, have been just a little confused about how we lose Drew, get Dame, Celtics get Drew, and that means they're better than us. I don't quite know.
It's one of the things that has pissed me off a lot since the trade is, the narrative was Drew just wasn't enough, and the national media kept saying, oh, look at the way that he's struggling in the playoffs, and then immediately he goes to a team that is arguably not as deep, doesn't have the star talent that the Bucks have, and apparently now they're this juggernaut. I don't understand it. Drew is a great player. I'm going to miss him a ton. He is a pretty good fit for them, but they don't just magically get leaps and bounds better. He's a better Marcus Smart.
Well, I think he's a much better Marcus Smart.
Much better. And if there's an NBA player I hate, it's Marcus Smart. So,
well, Marcus Smart, I think, got like he was Defensive Player of the Year. Why?
shouldn't have been.
And did you see the NBA GM polls where it's like best defensive player last year, a few votes for Drew, but then now that he's a Celtic, many votes for Drew. I
Yeah.
just think the whole thing for me is this narrative, and it is a narrative, but whatever it is, it doesn't deal in logic. The fact that I try to ask people in the NBA when I do these or that cover it when I'm on air is I try to ask people why you like you're biased towards the Celtics. Why?
Right.
Why? And I tell them, what if the Bucks kept Drew and the Celtics added Dame? I mean, then all of a sudden you think like the Celtics they would stop. They wouldn't hold a season. They would just give them the ring.
Right.
But we get Dame, and then they go, well, yeah, well, defensively. So now we're being judged that we don't have the most perfect team of all time. Also, the depth thing, like the Bucks' depth, I think is as good as it's been.
During this run, absolutely.
Campaign, here's the depth. The second unit. I'll read the second units for us and the Celtics. Campaign, Pat Connaughton, Marjan, Jay Crowder, and Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's the second unit. Theirs would be Peyton Pritchard, Lamar Stevens, Sam Hauser, O'Shea Brissett.
And then they don't have a backup center.
Well, Horford, I guess. If they start Porzingis. Because their depth chart on ESPN, what I'm looking at, it's Drew, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Porzingis. And then their second unit is, well, Pritchard, Brown. They don't like, I said Lamar Stevens, but they go shooting guard, White, Brown, Drew Holiday, Peyton Pritchard. That's not how depth works. You can't, you're going to look at that and say, look at the Celtics depth. You can't say, oh, look at the depth. It's just our starters in different positions.
Right.
They don't have as many guys as we do. And I just like logically, the Bucks' depth is better than Boston's. The starters are better than Boston's. Dame is better than Drew. But because it says Boston on the shirt, we're small market bitching about it.
And I wonder if that's part of the reason is they just want to get the small markets to start bitching and complaining about it. But it is. I mean, there's no doubt. You can't even argue that it's that large market size media bias. And that's the thing that annoys me is in any league, there's no league like the NBA where you can be an international megastar, even in the smallest of markets. Like, look at Giannis right now. He's been in Milwaukee 11 years. He is on his fifth signature shoe. He had a movie made about his life. He's in advertisements everywhere. You can't go anywhere without people knowing his name, even if they can't pronounce it. It's a time more now than ever, especially with social media, that you can be a big market name without being in a New York or a Boston or a Los Angeles. And at this point, why would you want to be in New York? Those teams suck right now.
Did you hear my story that I saw him at my kids swimming?
No.
Yeah, he was there with his 2 kids.
Nice.
And he was in the class before us, and like he was talking to some guys, and I think just like whatever. But people pretty much left him alone. I mean, everyone was on their phone being like, "Oh my God, fucking Giannis is here."
Oh, but absolutely.
People pretty much left him alone, and I don't like. He's you don't get that anywhere else.
No, you're getting swarms of people. I feel like, I mean, is it that Midwestern niceness to like, we just like, oh, I bet you he's a busy guy. We don't want to go and talk to him. We'll just let him be. But
maybe there's a little more like respect. Like, I don't know who at that swimming class that day would be like chasing clout for IG selfies.
Right. Or like going out of their way if he's at a restaurant to like run up to him and talk shit about him. Like that would happen in New York. You're going to get some crazed Knicks fan.
I guess if I saw Matt LaFleur in public, I would tell him he's a bitch.
Oh, most definitely. Yesterday just proved it. What a despicable coach.
I watched his interview with Larry McCarron, and he's like crying the whole time. He's always got tears in his eyes. That's a red flag, man.
Not to mention, I mean, we could talk for a long time about the Packers and Matt LaFleur. He's the worst. I've fully accepted it at this point that he is the worst.
Well, welcome to my army. We're an anti-LaFleur army.
The problem me and my roommate Alex have is name a good coach. The coaching in the NFL right now and decision making is horrible.
Probably worst it's ever been.
Honestly.
And they can't get away with it anymore because we all play Madden.
Yeah. We all do fantasy football. We do Madden.
Yeah, we're smart.
Yeah, we know. You could argue the average person knows more about the X's and O's than they ever have right now.
Speaking of coaching, Bucks are going to lace them up on Thursday against the Sixers. And do you think by that time, like, what stage of grief will they be in about Terry Stotts getting slightly scolded one time and then saying I quit?
I mean, I feel like as adults and competitors, they're going to see that and be like, all right, yeah, that was a red flag, good riddance. We don't need that right now. Because, I mean, it's not
if Adrian Griffin says, hey, dude, get over here. We're doing a coaching thing.
Yeah.
And then Terry Stotts says, no, I want to do this. And then Terry Stotts leaves. Are the players going to be like if you're in the NBA, are you more like, well, geez, Terry Stotts, who in the NBA is going to say like Terry Stotts? I would have done what he did. He did the right thing. No,
nobody. And I feel like that's the biggest reason why Terry Stotts hasn't had a job since he got fired or quit or let go or whatever it was there.
Why are we acting all of a sudden like Damian Lillard and Terry Stotts were like two long lost brothers reuniting?
Like, yeah, there was familiarity, but it's not like they were best friends. Yeah. There's a reason that he wasn't the coach there anymore.
Yeah, they spent a long time together. That'd be like if Giannis went somewhere and then Jason Kidd was on the staff. Would that be good?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Giannis has loyalty almost to a fault sometimes where he was defending Jason Kidd. when all of us, just going back to how smart we are as fans, obviously, we realize how messed up Jason Kidd made Giannis, where he made him question every single jump shot that he took.
Yeah.
He made him stop taking jump shots. I'm sure he did some great things with like his playmaking abilities, but if you look at Giannis's shooting form, his rookie season compared to now, it's night and day, and it is 100% because of Jason Kidd, and I will never forgive him for that.
I don't want to be anti-coaching guy. I hate being that, but I wanted Kidd fired. I wanted Bud fired. I want LaFleur fired.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe they need a new voice, but I'd rather have Council back than not.
You're not going to get a manager better than Council. Council makes some boneheaded decisions sometimes, and I say that as a Council apologist, but I just don't think you're going to get anyone better than him or someone that has that kind of respect in the locker room.
What do you miss most about the radio?
Oh, that's tough. I miss a lot of things. It's something that I talk to my girlfriend a lot about because
Is it about needing to sign out at 6 o'clock but being made to work until 6:30?
Yeah. Is it the needing a college degree to earn $9 an hour? Is it the paying my dues for 3 years just to get fired for budget reasons? But no, I do legitimately miss it. I love talking to the community. I love kind of being this like hub of sports talk. I mean, I grew up listening to it. It was a dream come true to be a part of it, and I do miss it, especially on like games where it's great. The days where I really don't miss it are after like a terrible Brewers loss, where I would already be pissed off, and then I have to listen to other people be pissed off and Tim Allen be pissed off, and it just wouldn't be a great time.
Do you believe in the Dame curse that since he came here, everything's gone to shit?
No.
And if that was the trade-off, I would still make it. I would have.
Oh,
you mean the Packers are going to have an existential crisis? The Brewers are going to get bounced in a shitty way. The Badgers are going to lose to Iowa, and we get Dame. Yeah. What more do you want?
Right.
Back the wave. I don't care.
I'm fully on board with it. I mean, Brewers are my number one and always will be, but we are in the golden age of Bucks basketball. We should be appreciating this right now. We should be doing everything we can to get another ring because we might not win another one in my lifetime. So
they have to win with these two. I mean,
yes,
they have to.
Literally have to.
And I think the have to has to come sooner rather than later.
Well, I mean, Dame is 33, and sure, his game is going to age really well because shooting will get you a contract anywhere. I mean, look at how long Steve Novak played. He can hardly put a sentence together on TV. So, sorry, Steve.
He's not a big book reader.
He also doesn't like BLM flags outside of the Whitefish Bay Library, but that's another thing.
They got a nice library right there on Marlboro Drive.
Yeah. I mean, Chris is only going to get older. You worry how much he has left in his knees. And I say that as a very big James Christian Middleton fan.
Yeah.
I was almost looking forward to when Drew, Chris, and Brooks' contracts were up, not because I want to see them go, but I wanted to see what John Horst could do with like $80 million in cap space in putting a team together.
Could he have done better than this?
No.
I mean, he swindled two organizations with one pick for 6 years from now and controlled the whole trade.
Right. And that's the thing is, so Giannis is signing his extension. He's said it.
He said it, and also, even from a like I can go to swimming and, fat Bart won't bother me, but he like, what better situation is he going to be in than this?
He was always going to. That's the thing. Nothing has pissed me off more besides the Drew being a demigod thing than every single year when Giannis gets asked these questions, and because he's a great guy and a great interviewer, he's going to answer this question every year. The answer's been the same, that as long as the organization and I are on the same page on winning, I will be here. And we've never, ever been in doubt or in jeopardy of that not being true. So it annoys me to no end that all these people are like, oh, he's going to leave unless they make this big move. No, it's just making sure that they put a competitive team out on the court and that they don't have any lazy players or guys who are just there for the paycheck. They're all there to win. He's going to stay here forever as long as we get him winners. It doesn't even have to be amazing talent. It's just winners.
So I don't even know like what would so injuries obviously, and I don't want to even say that as a preventative jinx, but the one thing like so I'm team Griff over team Stotts.
I would agree.
But if there's anything that you can say and look at the Bucks and say, oh, well, this is like you could say they have a first year head coach, but nobody's saying that. Everyone's saying depth, which is good. Dame, who's great. Nobody's pointing out the first year head coach. And I don't know how much of an impact that will have. There is some aspect of just let these guys play to it, but they do have to. And it looks like in the preseason, if we garner anything, defense is more of a priority than maybe before. We'll keep floating to try to figure out who the best option is, the fifth starter is. And that'll be a fun talking point that's kind of irrelevant. But I don't, other than like injury or just some bullshit shooting, like that's the thing. These guys have to make their shots. You can give it to Jay Crowder in the preseason, but he's got to knock it down. If you're creating space for them, they have to make their shots. So make or miss league is probably the same bullshit I'll be saying if they get bounced against somebody. I hear you 100%.
Something happened.
I'll pause it. All right. And I think you're good. I was just saying that the 3-point shooting needs to connect, and really it's going to be up to like, I don't know how they don't, if they don't win. I mean, it's just, I can't imagine what new level of hell will be upon us if they don't win a championship here this year. Not to overshoot my expectations.
That's the thing too, is realistically, what more can you do? Especially with the new luxury tax rules. What more can you do?
Yeah.
I think if there is a Bucks curse or a Dame's curse, it's the 3-point shooting curse. What is it with getting people here that are career marksmen and then they can't make a 3-pointer?
Well, now some of these guys, I guess they were talking a little on the broadcast, like they got to get used to, there's going to be more open threes.
Yeah.
So sometimes people are like, all right, I can shoot a 3. But then when you're so open, you're like, oh, fuck, I'm naked.
Yeah, that's where you get in your own head.
So maybe it's a hindrance. We should just trade. Why don't we give Dame to Boston? Yeah. We'll get Drew back. Everything will go back to normal.
A 1-for-1.
Yeah, then we'll have the best player in the league.
Right.
And then everything will work out. So if they don't win a championship, the top reasons will be 1 would be injury. 2 would be a bullshit series against the Celtics where they make everything and we miss. 3 would have to be
Griff isn't the guy.
Griff fucks it up. 4 would probably be a new strand of COVID, brings the league back into a bubble.
Yeah.
And Bucks
polio comes back.
Yeah, polio comes back. 4 would be the NBA Cup is so successful that once the Bucks win that, they won't give a shit about the actual Larry O.B.
I am so confused by this in-season tournament. I know that I'm going to hate it. Like, are the stars even going to play in it? Is there that much of an incentive besides like getting a little extra money?
The Warriors said they're going to go for it. And I texted my brother and I said, looks like your expectations have changed. And he didn't respond.
Wow. How dare he?
He's gonna have 4 NBA rings and 1 NBA cup. Fucking ribbon.
Participation trophy or certificate.
Oh, I mean, I like the ingenuity and the innovativeness of it, but he's trying to do something with English soccer that you just don't have the infrastructure for here. So
I guess
it'll be what the players make of it. If they get into it and get us into it, it'll be fun. And if they think it's stupid, which they probably will, then we'll think it's stupid.
In my opinion, and I'm just coming up with this on the fly, they should have merged with the Big Three and had it be a Big Three tournament where each team just throws a 3-on-3 in there.
Yeah, something different.
Because if we're just watching them play an actual game, it's kind of like, okay, is this a regular season game?
But then they're going to go play a final separate.
Yeah. I don't like that.
Well, that's why I think what's best for the league is that some bullshit team wins it.
Yeah.
The bad team needs to win it.
I really don't mind that. I don't want it to be, if it's not the Bucks, I don't want it to be the Celtics or the Heat or Sixers or.
Do you want the Bucks to win it? I don't know if I do.
Absolutely. Because I feel like if it's not this year, how are they going to improve the team next year?
Yeah. I don't, we keep thinking big picture. Like maybe that's why Terry Stotts was too focused on the Larry O'Brien, and Griff was like, we need to win this cup. I need to start stacking titles. I'm a rookie head coach.
414-799-1250.
Because if Griff wins that NBA Cup, he can be the rest of the year. They'll say he has championship pedigree. He may be a rookie coach, but this guy is a proven winner.
Or he's coasting off of past success.
Yeah.
One thing, sorry to cut you off.
I wasn't going to say anything.
One thing that I am more excited about this year than I think I have been the entire Giannis tenure is we have a kind of good squad of young players. Like,
yeah,
Marjan, I think he could end up being a pretty decent NBA player if he keeps his confidence up. That's the only thing that's hurting him is his confidence. If he's rolling, he's rolling. If not, he's not great. He's like a Rashad Vaughn. But I think there are some other players like Andre Jackson. I could honestly see him being like the starting 2 guard by the end of the year or next year. He's like a mini Draymond. He does everything. He can defend, he can pass, he can rebound. His shooting isn't great, but he's a smart basketball player, and he makes everybody on the court better with him being there. You have some really interesting two-way guys like Ty looked incredible in the postseason. His playmaking looked really good. His shot looked good. I think that you could see him be a potential like real contract player. AJ Green, we could develop to be like a Kyle Korver, or at the very worst, maybe like a Jason Capono. Chris Livingston is kind of a wild card. You somehow make a deal with his agents to pick him last.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Then you give him a.
Remember we were talking about that on the draft show?
It's so weird. But I love the fact that a player like that wants to come here. We gave him a 4-year contract, which doesn't happen for second-round picks. They know he's a project, but he has all the intangibles to be a really great player. He's a wild card in all of this. The talent that they have off the bench and younger is better than it's ever been, which I think is something to be really excited about. Because, yeah, we have a great starting 5, the core 4, but we have some young guys that are going to be really fun to watch.
I am excited for the season. I am excited to get rolling. Post-game show, first one Thursday night against the Sixers. Any other sports takes that you want to get off your chest? And I think we can all wish Evan Heffelfinger a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
How old are you? 27?
We'll see if I join the 27 club this year.
Jesus. Don't start learning guitar. No, you can play guitar, can't you?
Yeah, too late.
Oh, fuck.
But I'm a righty. I'm not a lefty.
So. When's your next gig?
Thursday.
Oh, where?
We're playing my sister's college, their bingo night.
During the Bucks opener?
Yeah, it was supposed to be last Thursday. They canceled it.
How do you play a bingo night?
I don't know. All I know is I'm getting $100, and I get to embarrass my sister by wearing a Nacho Libre costume.
Look at you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna have my phone sitting there and watch it while we play because I'm not missing that game. I'm not gonna miss James Harden throwing a fit.
He ain't playing, is he?
No.
Oh.
The last thing that I saw this morning is it's unlikely he plays. But also, what is he doing?
Why don't they just trade Embiid already? I'm serious. Start over.
The process part 2.
Well, the process part 1's gotten them nothing.
And it will continue to give them nothing. They're not.
And now this year more than ever, they're in such a the gap is so wide between them and us two.
Tobias Harris thinking that he's a multiple-time All-Star. Embiid thinking that he is the second coming of Jesus Christ. James Harden thinking that he's still a megastar. That team is in disarray. Tyrese Maxey might be their most normal player that they have.
Can I tell you since you brought up Tobias, can I tell you my DraftKings best ball team?
Of course.
So I did like 10 football ones, and I'm getting fucking murdered in all of them. And then I did a best ball team. I couldn't get Giannis. I didn't have a high enough pick.
Sure.
Lillard, Drew, Chris, Tobias, Brooke, Christian Wood, Portis, Brogdon, Mamu, Grayson, Dante, Marjan, Beasley, Payne, Connaughton, Crowder.
That is.
I just gave these guys money. I said, here, take money.
Hey, when Sandro Mamukelashvili is most improved player this year, you will be racking in the Benjamins.
A lot of guys I still wish we had. Sandro, Wood.
I loved Sandro. I thought he was a very fun player to watch. The problem with him is you don't know what position he is because he's too small to be a center, too slow and not powerful enough to be a power forward. But he was a great passer, decent shooter, good rebounder. He was fun to watch. I wish we had Christian Wood. I know that's you've been on that for years. But also, what's wrong with him that he couldn't get a contract?
Well, he's bad.
You think so?
You know who's not going to be bad? There will be a time this season where they say, Giannis, the second best Adetokounmpo for the Bucks tonight. Griff's going to let the nasty play, man. I think so.
And I'm all for it.
Why not? He's there.
It's energy. It's energy. It's enthusiasm. I mean, if he makes a layup.
Use him in the playoffs. If you need a spurge of energy, use him in the playoffs.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah.
He has 6 fouls for a reason. Let him use all of them.
Yeah, I don't care.
Just swarm him. Smack him. Do whatever you want with him out there. I'm all for that. I love Thanasis. And for everyone saying that it's kind of bullshit that he has a spot on the roster, who would you rather have as your 15th man?
Yeah, we got to stop worrying about our 15th man.
And Thanasis would be a rotation NBA player on quite a few teams, and I'm confident in that. He's not great, but you need that kind of contagious energy out on the court. And he's a bulldozer. I mean, he's going to get a dunk every time he plays. He's going to play swarming defense. He's going to hype up everybody on the court. It's very valuable to have that.
I agree with you. You know, we're on the right side of history here.
I would agree for more reasons than one.
Evan, enjoy your bingo night.
Thank you.
I do wish to speak with you more often. You are always welcome.
I need to make a better effort of it.
The audiences miss you.
Is that true?
I don't know. You guys you remember Evan? Who's that?
Remember that guy who took his shirt off all the time at the fan?
Yeah, this is the other one besides me. is the guy I did it with.
Hmm.
I love you. Happy birthday.
Love you too. Thank you very much.
Oh, this will conclude the episode.
Okay.
I have to say that because sometimes it rolls into a new episode.
Hmm.
It's part of the new setup for Blue Wire.
I
And
noticed that from last week's where it played like a Blue Wire feature at the last 20 minutes of one of your episodes or something.
yeah, so I'm just telling you this is the end.
Okay.
If you do listen to the next thing, I get money, so
I got you. I listened. Do I remember what was said? Not really.
I
But
love being a 40-year-old whore.
look, sometimes it's fun to be a slut. You can say that you're still in your hoe phase at 40.
I am in my hoe era.
There's something kind of exhilarating about that. I'd sell out.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
All right, see you, buddy.
All right. See ya.